Hey, what's going on, my friends? How are ya? Hiker Dave NE here. I want to show you around my new barn, if I could, before we get to really what's important. I have been fortunate enough to be able to get a place that has a really large barn. I want you guys to check it out because I'm going to be doing some videos from here. And as you can see, it's mostly empty at the moment. And I absolutely love it. So I keep a lot of all my hiking stuff here. I've got these shelves here all filled up with my stuff. Oh, and there's my sticker, you guys. I have the new sticker out, the Hiker Dave sticker. Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate that, my buddy Scott. And just to show you a couple things that I got set up here, I keep I've been able to fortunate enough to have this area where I can spread all my stuff out. Oh, there's one of my, that is actually a pencil drawing, by the way, done by yours truly. And so I just kind of put up all this stuff, and I find it very convenient. So I can just pack my bag for whatever terrain, time of year, whatever I feel like I need for the day's hike. And I can just kind of come over here and grab the stuff that I would like to have for the day. And it's kind of neat. I'm really, really enjoying it. But so with all that being said, guys, I want to get to something that I believe is really important, much more important than my barn. So I want to keep this really short and simple and not be all long-winded about it and draw it all out. This video, as I'm kind of coattailing on Christopher Noel on his Impossible Visits channel. If you haven't heard of or seen his channel, I really suggest you do so and go on over to Impossible Visits and check out his stuff. This gentleman is really, really doing a service to the entire Sasquatch community. He has a Facebook group. Now, I'm not much of a Facebook person, but he has a Facebook page. It's called Sasquatch and Civic Duty. I think this is very, very important stuff, all right? Because I have noticed something since I've been gone. Let me just go on this little bit of a chat here. I've been gone for about 3 months, maybe a little more, and I've noticed nothing, zero has changed when it comes to any type of new discoveries or whatever. And it's been like this since the Patterson-Gimlin film. I mean, nothing has changed. Nothing is different. It's stagnant. We're all stuck in this holding pattern and nothing is different. Nothing has changed. I could get footage of Sasquatch and nobody will believe it anyways. So there's that. Something has got to give. Nothing we're doing is working right now. And I think what Christopher is suggesting that we do is huge. It's a really, really great idea. Now, he also has a podcast, Christopher Noel does, called The Nearness of You, Sasquatch on the Boundaries. He talks of microforests, on how the population is potentially underestimated, and really how close they are to us, which would shock a lot of people that although I've moved up here into the mountains of New Hampshire, and some of it, half of it has to do with me wanting to get closer, get into the mountains and closer to Sasquatch, but that's my thing. This is what I'm about to talk about includes everybody. And I really hope everybody pays attention because this is extremely important. There is a group out there, and listen, I saw this on Christopher's channel, and so I really hope, Mr. Noel, you don't mind me piggybacking a little bit off of some of the information on your channel. And it's a group called NAWAC, the North American Wood Ape Conservancy. They are actively hunting Bigfoot. I knew about this vaguely, but not until I was just watching Mr. Noel's recent videos on his channel. They're actually hunting with deer rifles and scopes and actively hunting this species that they just believe is a small-minded, just an ape, and that they just want to get one on a slab. And I understand the thought process of that a little bit. Meaning that if we had a specimen or a body, it would force the powers that be to inform the public on the existence of Sasquatch, which I am 100% sure that they're out there, they exist. But to actively be out there hunting to kill one, to prove the point, is, I think, completely out of bounds. I believe my opinion, one could possibly be found sick or dying, or that died in an accident, a tree fell on it, or it was sickly and it died of natural causes, which I think is, I know that that's a hard thing to wrap your mind around. But this group that is out there, that is just go out there, which possibly really could come to fruition. These guys could actually end up putting one of these things down and shooting what I believe this species could be very closely related to us. I think that it has a lot of human qualities. I think that the possibility that they're smarter than us is not, it's not too far-fetched in my opinion. So Mr. Noel is starting to talk about us getting out there and to take that next step. And I plan on doing this in my area of New Hampshire where I live. I have recently spoke to some locals, only a couple, and I was not scoffed at or laughed at. I wasn't, nobody turned their back on me. It wasn't a joke. When I brought it up and I spoke to, if you saw my last video, Inga, she had some weird things happen to her. She's been in the woods for 32 years. There's a younger gentleman that works with her who has seen Sasquatch as early as last year, recently as last year, and finds numerous footprints and things like that. But anyhow, what Christopher is trying to do is to get people together, go to local areas, and you become that local contact for people in the community to come to, where this is not a joke. We're not, you know, and I am not a professional, and I have to say that every time I make a video. I'm not a professional. Nothing I say is fact. Nothing anybody can say about Sasquatch is fact. But I have my opinions and my theories. And I think that Mr. Noel is onto something here. That if we just take that next step and put everything aside, what everybody thinks about Todd Standing, what he has done, he's all by himself. He's taken Canada or British Columbia, or please forgive me if I'm wrong, exactly where he's taking this these people to court. He's doing something, right? And if you want to call him a fake or a liar or a hoax or whatever, it doesn't matter, because Sasquatch is real. He's real. It is a real species. So what Mr. Noel is talking about is trying to get everybody together, and let's take a step forward to make an honest effort to do something. And now I know too that this is uncomfortable for me. I'm not a public speaker or anything like that. Like when I do my videos, I'm talking to one person. I'm talking to you and you alone, and it's easy. If there was a room full of 50 people, I would be shaking in my boots right now. But I really do talk to you like I'm just talking to you. So I'm going to try to keep tabs on what Mr. Noel is doing and what he's asking us to do to better understand Sasquatch, to better understand habits and feeding and travel and things like this, right? I think we need to start to talk to people that are afraid to speak out. And at the risk of having people slam doors in my face and, you know, to be maybe laughed at or ridiculed, which I can't see happening up here in the mountains. These people are hard-working people up here in the mountains. This place is kind of off the grid type area. And I think a lot of people up here would love to tell their stories on what they've seen and heard. And I would like to be the one to maybe just crack the door open a little bit and give people an opportunity to speak to somebody about it. And thank you, Mr. Noel, for really what you're doing here, because I think you are a great person to kind of lead the charge right now. And I'm not trying to put anything on his shoulders or anything like that. I'm just saying what his idea is here is promoting awareness. That's what I've been trying to do for a year now with my channel, is just to keep putting videos out and to push that narrative and keep people thinking about Sasquatch and talking about Sasquatch. And those that have seen things and have had their eyes on a Bigfoot that don't want to speak about it, to let people know like that, we're out here, the people that want to hear it and want to listen and want to take initiative and take action. And you know, I've said this before, and I know it sounds goofy, boots on the ground here, and that's what I'm about. I am about going into the forest and looking for sign of Bigfoot, and I may never ever see one. And sometimes I've often said, be careful what you wish for. Maybe I don't want to see one, but I do like to study what it is that they leave behind when they're gone. Stuff that I can see that's just not natural. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out, you know, out of your day. And I know that people's time is valuable. And it's important that those of you that are serious about this subject to maybe take a leap of faith and start to talk to people that live in wooded areas where the forest butts their property. And maybe you're out there too, looking around and you see things. And, you know, it's easy to say, and I'm going to tell you, up here in New Hampshire, everybody's got a rifle, everybody's got a gun. To not be knocking on someone's door is not the smartest thing in the world. So maybe I'm not going to suggest that in my area, that I'm going to go onto people's property and go down a desolate dirt driveway to a place that says no trespassing. But I'll tell you, at a local diner or a local store or gas station, to strike up a conversation with someone that works for a logging company or something like that, just to talk briefly. And I did it just recently. I talked to a couple people that said absolutely they're real. They're here. And it's almost kind of common knowledge up here that Sasquatch inhabits the area, but nobody's willing to do anything about it. And I think that Christopher Noel is onto something, that if we all just do our part just a little bit collectively, it could be a huge thing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Next time I see you, I'll probably be in the woods. Thank you so much for clicking, and I'll see you on the next one.